Welcome back to the Investor Unite podcast, where we talk all things real estate, business, and entrepreneurship.
If you're looking to ignite your real estate investing, then feel free to join us at Investors Unite. And today we have two wonderful guests with us, Isaiah and David. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
My name's Isaiah Shickley. I've been in real estate investing for 5 years, I think.
That's a long time. I didn't know you did that long.
Yeah, since 19. So
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I just exposed your age, but it's... All right, go ahead, David.
I am David Witter, and I have been in real estate for, what year is it? It's 23. I got into it like right before COVID happened, right before everyone and their brother.
Like 2019.
2019. Yep,
Yeah.
that would be correct.
It's about the same as you.
Yeah, so I actually I came home from a deployment. I was like, I'm gonna go buy a multifamily. I didn't know.
Well, you were
anything
like
about
watching the
real-
podcast when you're
Yeah. Well, no, because I didn't really know what to watch, and
Okay.
I just knew that I was like, before I left, I was like, I really want to buy like an apartment building. I was looking at like these rundown places in Reading. I was like, oh yeah, they'll cash flow. Well, actually, I didn't even know what the word cash flow meant. I was like, oh,
I'll make some money off.
I'll have some profit each and every month, but I didn't know how to run any numbers, and
Yeah.
honestly, I'm so glad I never did buy any of those because they'd probably be headache properties
For sure, with it being so far away.
so far away, and they were just like, I'm not gonna lie, they were probably like D class or F class properties.
Yeah.
I was like, they're cheap and they're rented out already. Sweet.
Why not?
Yeah.
But to give a little, backstory about you guys. So you guys did partner up, and your company Innovated Home Solutions.
Yep.
And that was this year, correct?
No, actually, that was last year.
probably almost 2 years now.
Oh, time.
So yeah, well, we started partnering up about 2 years ago.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we officially officially on paper
Like contract.
had our
Yeah.
entity that we were both 50-50 owners in.
And we'll get into all of it. So just to keep the viewers watching towards the end, they actually done a really big deal.
They did.
A friend of ours
Let's get-
loves to talk about it all the time.
Have a freaking meetup.
A single meetup, a 6-figure deal
Yeah.
from Innovation, but we will talk about that towards the end.
Deal too.
Yeah,
Really?
pretty insane.
Yeah, actually steal
Wow.
Nice.
But to start off, I want to start talking about you guys' partnerships. I know not a lot of people break it down. In previous episodes, we talk about how we're 50-50, how we even split up the funds whenever we get a deal done, so on and so
Goals that
forth.
each other have, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So my question for you, because this wasn't the same situation for us. Obviously, you both got into real estate kind of individually, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before you partnered up, where Stephanie was somewhat into it, and I just had knowledge on the topic just from being interested for a long time. But what made you guys decide to want to partner together when you kind of already had something going for yourselves?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Want to go first or?
Yeah, so I think what made me want to partner up was, I kind of knew where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
And I met Isaiah, and his goals, his vision, what he wanted to do, I think was very similar to mine. However, he brought different skill sets to the table that I didn't necessarily have, and same thing with knowledge. Whereas I was versed in other things that he may not have been as versed in. So we kind of both.
It just kind of fitted each other then.
It was a good balance.
I mean, that's for me, anyways. Maybe Isaiah's reasons are completely different.
And it's I have no clue why I got this guy.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I was working with another investment company you guys know before that previously.
Yep.
I ended up meeting David at a meetup where I met Steph too.
Yeah.
Just quick, you guys, we all met the same. Well, except Skylar. Sorry, Skylar.
A little late to the party.
All three of us met at the first meetup that was held in this area after COVID.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Was it one of Zach's?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, Isaiah.
No, it's okay. Yeah, we met there. And David was already on his own. He still had a full-time job, but he was generating leads. And we kind of started talking. he was asking me about how to close these deals and things like that. And then we just sort of started talking like, well, why don't you just come close the deals?
Yeah.
So I started helping him with that, and I obviously brought the sales aspect where he was really good at the data, the marketing, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. So do you feel like you already had like a pretty substantial buyers list built up by the time he was bringing you these leads?
Yeah, I had a pretty good network at that point, just from working with that other company and then knowing people outside of that. It was
Gotcha.
pretty large network where David was on his own, and you were an agent at that point too.
Correct. Yeah.
But just sort of starting out, where I already had a couple years having those connections. So
yeah, a little bit too. Absolutely.
I didn't know you actually had your license.
Yeah.
Is that still something you do?
Yeah, I actually have. Well, I have 2 listings, and then I also have possibly a house under contract for a buyer right now. Awesome.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I'm not super active with my license, more or less retain it for our own reasons for
novations and stuff.
Nice to be able to run comps.
Yeah.
David's account.
Exactly.
David's MLS.
Run comps are like if we're working with a seller and they're looking to relocate, then we'll be able to find them homes, and then I have an opportunity to, well, not even off market. Like if it's a seller that just wants out of their home, like right now, I just got a text message about a property I wrote on for one of our sellers. So for her to be able to close a deal with us, we also had to find her, a home, and that's where my license is coming in. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Helpful to keep it in house. It helps just me and him being able to talk. I usually deal with our sellers, and you're actually working with the seller on this case too. Yeah. But in order to find her something, it's pretty nice to keep it in house.
So along the lines of real estate in general, what all do you guys like focus on exactly?
Sorry, before we get to that part, I hate to interrupt. I just want to take it a step back even further. Yeah. So you mentioned how you started to get interested while you were deployed. You kind of looked at it. You wanted these apartment buildings and everything. Isaiah, you were 19 when you first got into the game.
Mm-hmm.
When did your interest first peak, and how did you know how to take action? Like, where did you start?
So I had no idea what I wanted to do after high school. I was going to join the military. Okay. That didn't work out. I got into some trouble. You guys know about that. Yeah. We could talk more about that if you want, but
let's dive into it.
So I got arrested at 18.
So did I. Don't worry.
Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Like you didn't know about it. Yeah. So got in trouble at 18. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Couldn't join the Army at that point. I still had planned to after the year was up. Obviously, some other things came into play with real estate, but that happened. I was working 2 jobs, a warehouse and a restaurant 7 days a week. I knew definitely didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So started looking into things. I tried, drop shipping, whatever, Forex, all that kind of stuff.
He's kind of, I didn't get arrested, but
other than that, it's pretty similar. Yeah, and I like you, I knew before I went to college that just wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
I did good in school, but I hated it.
So how long were you at college?
I never went.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. That was different. Yeah, I knew before I even ever went that it just wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
So I got the jobs, tried all that other stuff, then eventually found real estate and had no experience like you getting into it. I just started learning on YouTube and things like that.
YouTube University?
Yeah, exactly. Then I went to some events, met that other company, and I started cold calling for them and just worked my way up after that.
Well, cool. So while you were at that company, how much did you learn about investing as a whole versus just kind of your job as a caller?
A ton.
Yeah?
Like just being around those people, it was crazy.
Okay.
Because I took... After just cold calling, then I started taking almost all the inbound leads. So not every lead, but most of the leads were coming through me and then going up the chain.
Gotcha.
So I got to see what happened at the very beginning all the way through with marketing at Dispo, acquisitions, everything. So helped a ton. And then obviously, like we talked about earlier, the network of meeting everybody through that was pretty beneficial.
No, that definitely helps out tremendously.
Yeah.
Skylar.
Yeah.
Did you try drop shipping?
I did not try options. So I was more into stocks personally.
Okay.
It was more of like a day trading kind of system. I did go to college as well for 1 year.
So what?
Go ahead.
For what? What'd you go to college for?
Business finance and marketing.
Okay.
So, I'll make this brief as possible. So I actually knew that I wanted to be in real estate somehow ever since I was about middle school age. So 11, 12, right? So it's a passion that I've always had. And growing up, like my parents knew this as well. Specifically my mom. Dad's not really in the picture, but mom kind of knew. And
did you go get cigarettes?
Did I go get some?
No, did your dad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did milk, but it's okay.
Oh, milk. Oh, okay, you went and got milk. Okay.
No. But yeah, so growing up, like kind of had the idea the entire time. Never really wanted to go to college at all. And I was continuously like learning as much as possible throughout middle school, high school about real estate, kind of like figuring out which sector I would like to be in, whether it's an agent, a broker, an investor, what kind of investing I would like to do. Kind of just like not managing, but figuring out what piqued my interest the most, I guess you could say. And then by the time I graduated high school, two of my best friends, they were going to the same college out in Pittsburgh. It's called California University. And my mom was like, listen, like, we're broke as hell. Financial aid will like cover your entire thing. Plus I did have a scholarship as well, which helped out. She was like, you might as well just go, because I would be the first one in my entire family to ever go to college. I was like, I don't want to, but two of my best friends are going there. I could just go have some fun real quick. And that's when the arrested part came in. And so I did definitely have some fun. I did go to classes for about the first semester. I might have passed like one of them or something. I never really kept track of the grades. And then second semester, all I did my entire time, other than nighttime partying, was real estate during the day. Like I would just sit in my dorm and really be on my laptop, just studying as much as possible. At that point, I actually started like building up leads, like trying to do stuff in Harrisburg. My parents at the time were actually going through foreclosure on our personal residence.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, let me see if we can just wholesale this. So I actually met up with the company that you previously worked for.
Yeah.
At my house, and then a couple other companies as well at the time. I don't remember their names or anything. My grandpa helped us out, got us out of foreclosure. So never ended up wholesaling that, but that kind of like really like gave me like a drive. I was like, oh, like this shit's possible.
Yeah.
My parents let me have it at this price, and these people were interested at this price. And I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to sell it, but we kept our homes.
I mean, yeah, that's a good
I
thing. Keep your home.
Right.
So please elaborate on the arrest.
The arrest part. Oh man.
I don't think I know either.
It's nothing too crazy, honestly.
Oh, that's boring.
Well,
or is it?
I'll leave some.
I'll elaborate if you elaborate after.
We'll see. See, I'm the guy.
Oh, you know what? I thought he did. He talked about it some, but he didn't really. Yeah.
Right. So
just give us the the Sparks notes?
The Spark notes.
I'll give you the clip notes real quick. So pretty much in college, I was broke, as most college kids are, and I didn't like being broke. So what's something that every fraternity and college person loves?
Booze.
I wasn't 21 at the
Something
time.
illegal.
Well, I mean, booze is illegal.
I mean, well,
Okay, yeah.
I'm only 18, so I couldn't buy that. Specifically drugs.
Okay.
Drugs of just about any kind. Primarily ganja, and as you stated. And my roommate at the time, he was actually from Pittsburgh. So his stepbrother, I think it was a stepbrother, Kevin or whatever. It doesn't matter. But he was like a big plug. Yeah, he was like a big plug out in Pittsburgh. So me and my roommate, we were like along the same lines, and like I was very much business. I had like a business mindset.
Okay.
And going into this entire thing, where my roommate was more of just like a straight up like trapper. Like he was like he was just jugging everything he could. I was like, why don't we like actually like see how much we can get versus like how much profit? What's her net on this?
Yeah.
Kind of stuff, right? Because we're just like have piles of cash just laying everywhere. And
Y'all are going crazy.
oh my god, it was ridiculous. It was so bad. But one thing led to another. We kind of had to like really systemize. Like it was a cool setup for real. And
This is why he's so good in real estate. I see why.
Transfers over the
although college kids are willing to buy them.
Yeah.
But no, so it was literally my last day of college, the last day of my second semester. I had my bags of everything all packed up. I'm walking out to my car to load it. One of the campus police pull up. They're like, Skylar. I was like, oh, hey. I was like, why do you have my name? Like, why do you know me?
Yeah.
And he was like, mind if I come talk to you real quick? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm about to head out. What's going on? He was like, I just want to go down to your room. I want to see what's going on. I was like, I'm really about to head out. Like, do you mind if I leave? Like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
He was like, no. He was like, I have backup on the way. We got to go down there. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So my roommate is still dead asleep in bed, right? And then, so I tell the cops, I'm like, do you mind if I go wake him up real quick? Like, they're like, nah, that's fine. Like, go ahead. So they waited right in my dorm at the door. And I walk in there. I'm like, yo, Austin. I'm like shaking. I'm like, bro, cops are here. Get up. So his face, like, he was like a mixed dude. His face turned whiter than mine. It was so bad. And then he's never been
Wake up.
right. He's never been in trouble with the law before, where I have previously, but just like small little things, like small amount of marijuana charge, misconduct, and just shit like that, whatnot. And at the time, I wasn't exactly sure of how much we had on us because I just wanted to get out of there. Like, things were getting sketchy. Like, we had our, what do you call that? Like the our CA or RA or
Yeah, all right, I think.
RA.
I think it's all right.
I'm still lost. What are you guys talking about in RA?
Person that like
It's like head of that
the
building.
Dorm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just look
no college experience. So
I just remember sneaking past him with alcohol.
Oh.
Back when I was
Yep.
younger.
Yep. So he came to our door several times this week. He was like, yo, like, it stinks down here. Like, y'all got to do something. I'm like, bro, we're literally, like, wrapping this up. Like, let me just sell the remainder of this. We'll be out of here, right? And he was really cool. I mean, he was part of the one frat that I always went to. But, yeah, so anyways, we go down there. I wake him up, whatnot. Cops come in, tell us, both sit on your beds. We're just going to search everything. So there's, like, 3 of them, then 4 of them, and then 5 of them coming. And I'm just sitting there, bro. Austin's like on the verge of like throwing up on the side. I'm like, bro, how much do you have? Because I knew what I had left. It was like a personal amount, like nothing crazy at all. Like, I finished my product. It was good,
wow.
right? Bro, they open his drawer, 3 pounds of weed. They pull out 3 pounds, 3 pounds.
Crap.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is already bad, right? And I knew like I still had some alcohol on my side of the room, but I was like, these bottles are pretty much all empty. Like, there might be a couple drops left in them. I just kind of kept them as like souvenirs, right? And I was like, so that shouldn't be anything. And then they go through, they check his closet, and they pull out like this like luxury watch case, which I've never seen him have at all. They open it up, or ask him to open it because there's like a passcode. Bro, there's like a kilo in there of coke.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh, my heart instantly drops. I'm like, oh fuck, like this is sad.
He ran back.
So I start going on my phone and start looking stuff up real quick. I'm like, bro, how long of a prison sentence am I gonna get for this? It's like minimum of 20 years. I'm like,
That's
oh
insane.
god, like this is the last thing I want to see right now. Like, I was literally on my way out the door and all this happens. So
That's wild.
yeah, next thing you know, I mean, they divided the room. They took my half versus his half because it was just one big
That's
room.
good.
It's kind of like this, right?
That's good. Yeah.
Right. So they're like, listen, like, you're good to go. Austin's gonna stay here with us. we gotta talk to him a little bit more. And then I'm like, okay, like, one cop walking out because he wanted to search my car too. I'm like talking to the cop on the way out. I'm like, bro, I promise you, like, he's actually a really good kid. He's been doing a lot more schoolwork than I have personally. Like, he's keeping his grades up and everything. We were just kind of broke at the time. And I didn't know like all of this was here. Like, it's kind of the situation we're in. And so we get ordered for court like 3 months later, right? And I'm back home at this time. Austin, like, he's like following up with me like every now and then. I'm like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, how are you doing? He was like, I'm just so scared, bro. He's like, I think I'm about to do so much time. I was like, we'll just wait and see what happens. So we go to court in Pittsburgh a couple months later. And, bro, thank God, these were like the nicest cops ever. They did not charge us for the coke. They did not charge us for intent to sell.
That's
They
wild.
did not charge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't even mention the coke. They had a small amount of marijuana on both of our charges, along with like, I think we had a total like 7 things. Like, I had also purchase of alcohol by a minor and like some other shit. Where I was just like, that's insane. So we both ended up having to do a year probation after that. And
That's not bad.
It's not.
That's not bad. Literally.
It's not compared to what we should have got.
Yeah.
Like, so, anyways, did that. And then the one night I was still during probation. I was at home. Oh no. I was on my way home from my girlfriend's house at the time, and I was smoking because like I didn't learn my lesson, right? And I get pulled over, and they see I'm on probation and everything. They're just like instantly in handcuffs.
Oh no.
And I'm like, all right, I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is an experience. So they take me over to the holding cell at Dauphin County, and they didn't really tell me anything. They kind of like stripped me down, whatnot. And I'm in this holding cell, and I have this dude named Miami. He's like my cellmate. But he's got
Miami.
Yeah, he just finished getting beat up by his wife. It was hilarious. He was like bloody. It was all over the place. And this cell is absolutely disgusting. Like, that was like my initial reaction. You walk in, there's like throw up and blood on the walls, and like there's just like a drain in the middle of the floor. There's no bed. It's just a steel bench chained to the wall. I'm like, this is horrible. And then like some other kid from Hershey, he was about my age. He came in. I was like, what happened to you? Because I mean, we all tell our stories. Yeah. And he was like, bro, they just found like 700 pills on me. I was like, 700? He was like, I hope I get to go home tonight. I'm like, bro, you're not going home. Miami ended up like clutching up for me though, right? Because I wanted to get the hell out of there. And I was like, I don't know what to do. They ended up pulling me out, like taking my fingerprints. I was in there, I think I went in around like 10 p.m. and I was in there until about 8:30 a.m. the next morning, right? But I tried to call my mom because they allowed us one phone call during the night, and she did not answer. But so Miami got to go after me, and then he was like, "What's your mom's number? Like, I'm gonna give her a call, like, see if I can help you out, like, get her in here, or whatnot, bail you out of here." I was like, "Oh no way!" Gave him my mom's number. I'm like signaling to him like through the window at the door. He like calls it. He's like on the phone. He's like, "Gee." Okay. All right.
Yo, Miami's a G.
Shout out to Miami.
Oh, Miami. Probably never gonna see this. Thank you. Next thing you know, my mom pulls up at like 8 a.m. and she was like, "What's going on? Like, can I get him out of here?" I think they made her pay some amount, which I had to pay her back, obviously.
Yeah.
I think she charged me a little extra. But
Interest.
yeah, it was just one night, absolutely horrifying, and I hope to never do it again. So thank God for real estate and no more drugs.
Quite the testimony right there.
Take skills and get into real estate.
There you go. That was quite the experience, but I had a lot of fun. I can't lie. I loved it. So
did you learn anything?
don't sell drugs. Just So in comparison to your story,
not near as bad. Not near as crazy. Yeah. Well, no, mine's not as crazy.
oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Not that yours is anything too wild, but yeah, I mean, I just got a DUI.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
That sucks.
we were out on the boat partying. We were like 18, and I just drove home.
I thought you were gonna say they pulled you over on the boat. I was like, oh, that's
No, I wasn't driving the boat. I shouldn't have been driving after the boat, let alone on the boat.
So were you just like swerving all over the road, and that's what they got you for? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Pulled me over.
it happens. Do you remember what you were doing? It happens.
Everything. Yeah, highest legal limit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a couple of charges for that, and I went to do like the ARD program, which is like to get it off your record or whatever.
I was supposed to do that until I got in trouble
Yeah.
again, and then they didn't let me.
Then you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did the community service. I did whatever else, whatever the
You had to pay like the $1,200 fine.
yeah, whatever the other requirements were. But I never ended up filing like the $70 piece of paper to get it off my record. So it's still on. Yeah, and I don't know, like it didn't affect my my insurance, like my car insurance didn't go up. It went down the year after.
Perfect.
It was crazy. It was like it was almost never there. So I just never had the incentive. Like my insurance didn't go up. It didn't affect anything else. Didn't affect my job.
Yeah.
When I
That's
got
awesome.
promoted, they gave me the car. I was like, hey guys, I kind of got something on my record. I don't know if I'm going to get on your insurance. And they were fine with it. They were, yeah,
No way.
they didn't care.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah. I just never went and did it. But
It's funny we're actually talking about this because just yesterday I was talking to an old friend, Kara,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Is your one thing still active? Like your one charge?" And I was like, that was back in 2020. Like, it shouldn't be, even though it was like a year ago. For some reason, I thought I finished everything. So she went through and checked, and I have like a total of like 17 charges or some shit. It's pretty bad. But yeah, the one from 2020 is still active somehow. And I was like, I gotta figure this out. Like,
It's usually just like a call. Like you just
yeah, like I just gotta like, can you close this out? Like, can I get this expunged? Something. I just thought it was so random.
I don't know, but being in business, like
It's not. Yeah, that's like
you don't really need it
too
being
much.
right.
Yeah,
Like I still do have my W-2 job as well. But
yeah,
it's a warehouse. Like
they're not. Yeah,
half those people are.
yeah.
You know.
Well, that's why I worked at a warehouse after high school because they didn't care. So.
Yeah, not exactly.
Yeah.
Nah. So
But to get back to real estate, you guys
made
a little
us put us all on the spot here.
But yeah. So what do you guys mainly focus on in regards to everything?
I'll let you talk. I just talked for a while.
I would say right now, this year we did run into an issue with the home. That's maybe we'll get into that. But so I think we're gonna focus mostly on like novations and wholesales.
Yeah.
For 2024, we do. Isaiah is great at wholesale. He'll do like the whole process as far as wholesale acquisition and disposition. So we've been doing wholesales, obviously the novations as well, and we do have a flip going on and a burr. So
how many doors are you guys at?
Two together.
Two together. To myself and Isaiah has.
We could have kept more.
Yeah,
We could have kept more over the years.
It's kind of like the money though.
A lot of them, yeah. It's just like the market has been really good, and
Yeah.
like taking that profit, it was.
Right.
I don't regret it. We'd like to get more this year, I think.
when we still have one under contract too.
Yes, yeah, we do have another one in Hanover, but yeah, she's taking for
Yeah,
You've a creative
no.
finance deal.
yeah,
Really?
yep.
Nice. What kind of times you got on that?
We're taking over her mortgage. Her mortgage is,
Subject to.
I think her
It's like 2.7, 2.8%.
That's really
her payment's like, I think $1,000 a month.
Okay.
Should rent for 16.
What is it? A 4-bedroom or something? 4-bed, 2-bath, or?
Yeah, I think it's like 5 bedrooms. It could be, but
I think
you're not going to count that
Yeah.
one. So 4 bed, probably. What is it?
Is it 2 or 2.5? I forget. It's been a long time.
It's just
since we
2
were
baths.
there.
There's that one next to the kitchen, and there's one on the second floor.
Okay.
It is 2 full baths, so
And what did you say market rent was on that?
probably 1,700. It's a big house.
Oh, that's gonna be really
Brick
good.
semi. It's got off-street parking.
Yeah. So are you giving her anything additional besides just the mortgage?
A little bit. I think like 3,000.
Yeah, and then I think there's a little bit. Aren't we? We're seller financing.
Seller financing a little bit. Too.
Yeah,
So it's
a 0%.
Yeah. 0% interest on the seller finance part, but yeah, it should be a good one if she ever finds an apartment. That's the tricky part about this market is like the one David was talking about earlier, or even finding people rentals. It's really hard to find them rentals or houses right now.
We're going through the same thing right now on one of ours.
Yeah,
Sam.
if it's not vacant, it makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
We're getting them done, but it's
taking a little longer than we'd like.
not as it used to be. Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the no more interest rate hikes?
Yeah, I've been hearing. So I actually just watched a video from Graham Stephan. I think it came out last night, sometime.
Shit today.
And they were talking about that, and I've been hearing a lot of speculation that 2024 interest rates are most likely going to drop.
Supposed to.
Which could cause another, buying frenzy for everyone that's waiting. So,
Right.
I mean, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
It's all just speculation at this point, as far as I know. I could be wrong. I don't know very much.
Yeah, I have to get into politics, but I feel like that
The
happens a lot.
election.
Yeah.
That gives them a little bit more
It's yeah.
whatever.
I agree.
Right.
Not to get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really that big into politics. Like, I'll
Me
try.
neither.
I'll try things like
literally-
here and there. It's just like, how's the market doing?
Stuff that affects us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In business, anyways.
Very cool. So you said mainly wholesales and novations. Is there a reason you just want to build up capital? Do you feel like that's a safer thing to do right now? Or
Yes.
sure,
Yeah.
D. All the above.
We take the flips when they're
cash is king.
they're very good profits on those.
Right.
The rest we just wholesale and we'll take a little bit less because we can move on and get 3 more deals in the time that it takes us to do a flip or whatever.
What's like your minimum profit margin for a flip? Like, if you get, say you're running numbers on a deal and it says $35,000 profit, potential profit, are you guys going to take it? Or,
For a flip?
yeah.
It depends how involved it is.
We said at the beginning of this year, I think our number was 40,000
Yeah.
to take a flip. Now if one came along and it was a lipstick job and we can make 35, sure, we're probably
No
gonna do
brainer.
it.
Yeah.
But if it's a 60K rehab to make 35, we're not going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, especially if like it's very involved. Like if you're doing more than just like paint and carpet and maybe appliances and like for that number, probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
Actually, not probably. We won't do it.
Yeah, David's putting his foot down. We ain't doing that.
Wait, between both of you guys, who's the one that plays bad guy and good guy? I'm just curious.
I feel like it goes both ways, honestly.
Yeah.
If I'm on an appointment, you're always the bad guy. He's like my manager or our money guy,
Yeah.
whatever you want to
Well,
call it.
listen, my lender, he's not going to approve these.
Yeah, David's the lender, David's the manager, David's everything.
Yeah, Stephanie's the same person.
Exactly.
Steph is not going to put up with this.
Yeah. You always need that when you're taking sales appointments.
Oh, for
Definitely.
sure.
Somebody throw it on,
Bag of
just so you don't look like the bad guy while you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to help you out. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm
So
on
I guess
your
it would
side.
depend. Like David deals more with the contractors though, so David's putting his foot
He's
down.
got to be the bad guy.
Well, Isaiah's the bad guy when it comes to dealing with contractors. Like I'm gonna talk this over with him, or like,
Okay.
hey, like I can't do it at this price.
Yeah.
I just talked it over with my partner, and you know he said there was other expenses that we need to allocate for. So, like I said, I feel like we both do. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wherever it's needed.
Very cool. So, you guys, something that I think that you're probably more of experts in are innovations. I feel like you've definitely done more than we have in that regard. So, you mind just explaining like what innovation is? What's the difference between like innovation versus like a wholesale or a flip or something like that? Just for our audience to better understand.
I mean, you can. I mean, you do. I was gonna say you're pretty involved with them, so
Yeah.
you do a lot of the acquisitions. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess just to put it in like simple terms, wholesale versus novation, I think that's probably the best comparison versus flipping.
Yep.
Wholesale is typically done totally off market, whereas novations, you are getting the seller to agree to let you list it.
Gotcha.
And you want a little bit of time with those because you need time to get it sold. You need time for the buyer's financing and things like that.
Right. So,
So
if the
that's
seller's
at
not
its
like,
simplest form.
if he's not in a major rush to sell this property and for whatever reason you want to be able to get top dollar without actually having to purchase the property, you're able to get in our contract like it is a wholesale deal, but more of just partner with the seller, have an agreed upon price beforehand, and then throw it on the market and see whatever profit you can get above that.
You need time and access to get it sold.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, any of your innovations that you've done, have you put work into them? Or do you just
We can talk about it pretty bad on it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the one Dave
here for all
was been mentioning that a deal we shouldn't have done this year.
yeah.
Did you lose money?
Yes.
Oh,
No way. So let's break down the whole thing, like start to finish. How'd you get this deal to?
So
The
you're losing money.
So I'll start.
Yeah.
and finish it.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So so we had a seller that I had talked to probably like a year previously. She ended up calling us back. She was in foreclosure. Her attorney stayed the foreclosure for a while, called us back and wanted to sell the house.
Mhm.
So he said, sure, okay. I went out. I met with her and her realtor.
Okay.
Got the property signed up for, I think, $360. Come to find out she owed more. She owed like $399. The house was worth, we'll just say $500 or $600, right?
No, not. I would say
$500.
yeah, like
Sorry, $500,000.
510,
I'm
something
thinking of
like
the other
that.
deal I was talking about earlier.
What? No, not in its
We'll get
current
into that
condition.
one.
Yeah,
Not in its current condition.
yeah, not in its current condition, but
ARV.
if we did some work,
Yeah.
Right.
we knew it would sell for $500. So yeah, locked it up for eventually $399, and started doing renovations. I'll let David take the rest.
That's
a
already
bit more on the back.
So I'm just thinking from what you told me so far, those profit margins are already kind of slim, right? Because
It would have been good
Yeah.
at $399 or
Yeah. 399. There's obviously $100K spread there. Obviously, you're gonna pay your agents, and no, you're not paying closing costs because it's an ovation.
Oh, we do it different then. That's something. So like we will pitch Novation where like we'll pay your closing costs, we'll pay your realtor fees. You don't have to worry about that. This is the number we give you, and this is what you're gonna
We
get.
tell the seller that,
Oh,
but in Novation, since you're selling it to that end buyer, buyer always pays closing costs.
In current market, anyways, like I don't know of a seller that's actually paid any closing costs.
Our sellers never pay closing costs, but the buyer, the new buyer, will.
You have so the end buyer pays all the seller's closing costs, like your retail buyer does.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, other than
Both
like
sides of
small
transfer
little
tax
things.
and stuff?
Not both
No,
sides.
the
We'll
seller pays
still
their
cover
1%
that.
transfer tax,
Okay.
and we cover commissions.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty much. I mean, there might be some other little small fees like deed prep and stuff.
Deed
Right.
prep,
$200, whatever.
death cert for this one.
Yeah, stuff like that.
What was it? Resale cert from like HOAs, depending.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But other than that, the buyer typically.
I guess it all depends how you negotiate it with the seller.
Yeah.
Under that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what went wrong?
What didn't go wrong is a better question.
Well, what did you think you had to do, and then what was that surprise?
What was it, 20,000 in work ish?
Uh,
Not even.
Well, okay. So I had this great idea. I was like, let's fix it up a little bit. Let's do, as I call it, or as I guess we both call it this, we call it a pace novation. And maybe I missed some details in that as far as how he does them. But basically, a novation, except we're going to put a little bit of work into it and do a light rehab to it. So that's exactly what we did. Before we even started doing that, she had wanted a water heater replaced because she had zero money and had an adult son living with her who wasn't fully capable of working, I guess. And so we genuinely were trying to help them out. So we replaced their water heater while they were living there. I think like a week after Isaiah met with her, got it locked up. So we did that, and it's I'm not sure if you guys have ever priced out natural gas vented water heaters, but they're expensive. They're like the most expensive type that you can get.
How much?
So for an exact replacement of what was there, which was a builder grade one, it was like $4K.
That's pretty high.
That is.
So, and I looked at other ones that were like other direct replacements that came from different brands and maybe slightly upgraded, whatever that means. Maybe, I guess, maybe a little bit more energy efficient. And anything above, like they were all above 4K. So I was able to get one for 4K installed.
Nice.
So start out with that.
This is while they're still living at the property.
Correct. Yep. Still living at the house. Isaiah and I went and met with her several times. And each time she started asking for, well, before she even asked us, I think, she was asking the company that did the water heater while they were there to start like replacing toilets and stuff. And that was never discussed.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So,
They started racking up your tab.
oh, they're trying to. They're trying to.
I don't understand why they're going to sell the house at the end of the day. Anyway.
Well, I think what she told Isaiah was like, well, you guys are going to replace the water heater anyway, so why not do it now? Or something along those lines.
Well, and that was part of the original agreement, was just to do the water heater because we knew we were going to make a good profit.
Well, that's when it was still at 360.
Yes. Yeah. And we were going to just do the water heater and get it sold.
Right.
We then changed our minds and we were going to do the renovation.
Wait, so how did you get the numbers wrong between thinking it was 360 in the beginning to coming up to that 390?
Mortgage amount. She had a letter that said 360, so I locked it up.
No, I thought it was like 330. She said.
Yeah, it was like
And then-
340 because she wanted 10 grand.
Yeah,
Or 350.
something.
Yeah. And I locked it up for 360-ish, whatever. Because she wanted the 10 grand. And then come to find out, she owed the HOA money. She owed the mortgage company money.
Oh, that extra stuff.
$399. Yeah.
Yeah.
$391.
And actually, at one point, the mortgage company had paid her HOA fees because she had, I think,
Tens
like
of thousands of dollars.
I think it was at least $20,000 in HOA.
How much is their HOA?
Fees. Not that
Not
much.
much. She hadn't been paying it since like before COVID.
Yeah.
So she owed a lot, and then the balance. I mean, like it just goes up exponentially.
Yeah.
Once you owe that much, then the interest and everything
Piles on.
Yeah.
So yeah, she wasn't even aware of her mortgage balance whenever she wasn't completely aware. So she told Isaiah it was one number. We took it to title, came back,
Yep.
and it was significantly higher, like a $40,000 difference. And that's where like we were actually going to close on it, flip it, do a normal flip on it, that sort of thing, because we took it to the same title company you guys use, Capstone.
Yeah, shout out to Capstone.
Shout out Capstone.
We love them.
And I was actually just going through some of the emails the other week, trying to, I guess, figure out some details because we had to go to court for it. And was there an Jolene?
Yep.
I think, Capstone. I believe she was, she in the email traffic, Isaiah had said, yeah, we plan on taking this one down and keeping it, like flipping it.
Yeah.
That was before we got the payoff amount. Not just the payoff. Yeah. Yeah. If we closed on it, like between closing costs at that price, holding cost,
there would have been a little bit of money, but it was not
worth it.
Getting it for that much. And, too risky at that number.
Definitely.
So, like I said, I had a great idea of like, hey, let's do a fix and flip novation.
Yep.
So it started with the water heater, and then toilets, because 2 out of 3 toilets did not flush.
Wow.
And 3 out of 5 sinks did not sink.
They didn't drain.
The sink was not sinking. So
so you came out of pocket for all those expenses.
Yeah. Well, and not only out of pocket to fix and correct those things, but like I went out and did them myself.
Yeah, we were working on the house.
And that's not even like cosmetic stuff either.
No, not to mention the fact that that's where I was going next. The floor, because the water heater guy had sent me pictures. He was like, hey, are you aware of the floor here? Like, it was, I guess there was a water leak that had just gone on unattended for ever, it seemed like. So
was the water heater in the basement?
The water heater was, yes. So, no, not a finished basement, but it was actually, the house is less than 10 years old.
It wasn't from the water heater. It was from the sink.
Yeah.
Less than 10 years old and having all these issues?
Correct.
What are the builders doing?
Well, and it wasn't even, a lot of it wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
It was the seller's fault.
Just leaving things go. Yeah, neglect. Yep, that's a perfect word. I couldn't think. So, yeah, we ended up doing all new flooring because it was buckled downstairs because it was wood flooring. Obviously, from a water leak, you're going to have it buckle.
Did you replace it with hardwood as well?
Laminate, LVP. Okay. Had LVP installed, all new carpets because they were stained, and it looked like she used her bedroom as an ashtray.
Love those ones.
So,
Did it have the stench too?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was horrible. We painted we cleaned everything up, painted the whole house, replaced all the flooring, and it's still, you could not get rid of that odor.
Yeah.
Did you guys do like literally everything? Like you guys did the paint?
Not all of it.
No.
Some of it though. A good amount.
Oh, and we cleaned it out too.
Not to mention the house is like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
You love those deals when it's so far though?
it
would have been
We don't.
yeah, it should have been.
Did you sleep at the house any of the nights?
No, our contract.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Matt painted the whole house in 2 days.
Nice.
I slept there one night.
Oh yeah, you did.
I did. Yep.
That's dedication right there.
I took a sleeping bag out and slept on the subfloor. I didn't really sleep much, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It was kind of crappy.
So other than the flooring, what other like cosmetic stuff and paint did you do to the house? Or is that pretty much about it?
Paint, clean the ducts, and that was about it.
Appliances. We did appliances, toilets, faucets, and drains in the sinks.
Yeah.
Had the deck and the backside of the house because I was actually just looking at pictures again because this whole court thing.
But
I guess like from them smoking so much, like the whole backside of the house was like stained on the outside. Yes. I guess just because I guess she kept the window open all the time
for house
thinking that it didn't affect the inside. That like, oh hey, if the window's open, like it's not gonna smell like smoke in here.
Imagine.
And so the whole backside of the house, it was just stained. So the house next door was actually getting prepped to be sold.
Okay.
There was a guy there. I ended up talking to him.
Would that be a good comp for your house?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's in a townhome community. near Philadelphia, like suburbs, Chester County, I think, right? Or maybe that was Montgomery. So not far from Philly, like a really great area.
Right.
And private school, like right across the street.
Nice.
Easy access to 422, that sort of thing. So prime location.
Yeah.
Less than 10 years old, too.
Yeah.
Right. It sounds like in the beginning, everything.
Oh, it was great
It
at
was
the beginning.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Was. Keyword was.
Well, and all the meanwhile, while we were doing these renovations, we put her up in a hotel to keep her out of the house.
Okay.
So we have the hotel, we have the renovations.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys go all out for these.
I know.
We really were genuinely trying to help this one.
Yeah.
She was in a terrible spot, and obviously we're investors at the end of the day, but we definitely
Still people.
had a soft spot for her. Like we wanted to genuinely help her.
Isaiah
Lesson learned.
gave her cash. Well, actually, we both did. We both gave her money because she kept saying she didn't have any money for X, Y, and Z, which probably for cigarettes, to be honest with you.
Okay, so what are you all after all these repairs?
Do we want to include like the attorney fees currently?
So
Yeah,
is
every
We'll just
that's
say up
all-
to that point. We'll say up to that point.
we'll say up to that
It's like
point where,
42, maybe.
Yeah.
So you're all in like what
Like-
440 ish.
Well, we didn't buy the
Oh,
house.
yeah, we didn't.
Novation.
Right.
So we're
I'm
only
just
at
like
42.
including the rehab. And,
Yes.
with the hotel and like the rehab. Oh, we had it on the market for a little bit and we kept getting bad feedback, obviously like the smoke smell. So I went back out there and like took bleach to everything. Still kind of smelled. Got the ducts cleaned. Ozone machine finally did the trick after the
did it?
duct cleaning. So and and then we ended up getting it sold.
Yeah.
quote unquote.
We had an end buyer lined up, and so at this point, we gave her cash. She wanted closed out early, so we gave her proceeds. We took the current mortgage balance on because it obviously is there's a per diem. It goes up by a certain number each and every day, so we calculated it to that day. So we were actually being generous there, and she basically walked away with nothing because she owed so much and everything else. So we gave her couple grand more, and
But it's better than her going into foreclosure and having-
absolutely.
Keep it out of foreclosure, get the deal sold. We were a week away from closing. So we said, okay, let's give her a little bit of money so she doesn't blow this thing up.
Yeah.
Turns around, she blows it up, basically.
How did she do that?
Filed bankruptcy.
Yeah.
She did.
So she files bankruptcy, moves right back into the house, calls a locksmith, takes the lockbox off, moves back into the house after we did everything.
And so she wanted help moving because she was unable to. So Isaiah and I went out there. We went through all of her stuff.
Yeah.
We took notes. We took pictures. We were like, hey, what do you want to keep? What don't you want to keep?
Took her stuff to storage.
Packed it all up. Isaiah went and got a U-Haul.
Yeah.
We met at the house, packed it all up, took it to a storage unit that's like less than a mile from the home. So that way it's in a convenient location. Right. We covered it up until closing or until she got those proceeds that we advanced to her.
This is a crazy deal.
Oh, dude, it's horrible.
This is all.
And that's a lesson learned on trying to, like you said earlier, when you do innovation, you are essentially partnering with someone.
Right.
And you have money tied up into that.
And I think it makes it tough with her living in there while doing the rehab.
Yeah,
So
that's why they moved her.
Yeah, and she was all for it. Like she's like, oh, I can't wait to go. Like I can't be here anymore. Like it stresses me out. I need out of this place. Like
Yeah.
because again, it was going to go to foreclosure. She would not have had anyone to help move anything for her. She would have walked away with absolutely no cash. So we solved all those problems for her
That's awesome.
and provided her a place to stay in the meantime. And since she always said she had no money for X, Y, and Z because she was living off Social Security.
Gave her cash out of your pocket.
Cash, and plus the hotel was like maybe a mile from the house. So again, everything was thought out and was strategically planned. So that way she could go check her mail, go do whatever. If she needed to go back to the house for something, it was right there. And like this hotel most hotels have breakfast. Some don't. Bad ones don't. But this one also had like a buffet in the evening.
Yeah.
So to take care of that expense for her, there was a Starbucks right outside. There was like different shopping, like walking distance from the front door of this hotel. And they had like They had a self-serve bar and shit too. So I went. She would always ask us. She would always ask. Well, actually, I think she asked Isaiah all the time. She's like, "Are you guys gonna come for dinner? Are you guys gonna come for dinner?"
That was the craziest part. She loved us throughout this deal. Like, she called us her sons, all of that. So we really did genuinely want to help her, but she completely played us.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it was very thought out, and she plays dumb old lady, but she's very smart.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
it is what it is. Lesson learned.
So she moved back in a couple days before closing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Got a locksmith, everything. From there, what happened?
Our buyer had his home sold, like not under contract.
Sold.
He was in a hotel, so she cancels his contract. He's effectively homeless.
Oh my god.
So now, yeah, it's a whole long story. I don't think we need to get into all of it, but basically we're in court now.
Okay.
There's a good chance.
Oh,
we
like
get,
currently now. Like,
yes, yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, because it just happened recently. So there's a good chance we get at least a chunk of our money back. We're not 100% yet. I
But
mean,
would that be
That's crazy.
from the equity of the house, basically.
Yeah.
equity?
Yeah,
Okay.
because she still does have.
So the house never sold.
Nope. Nope.
She's showing there.
She's so she essentially stole our money, stole all the things that she asked us to
Yep.
replace and do for her.
So did you guys file?
And made someone homeless.
Made someone homeless. No, we did not. And in hindsight, we probably should have put a lien on the house and made it a little more secure. But again, this was a learning lesson.
That's the takeaway for
Yeah.
everybody listening. Is
Yeah.
file that memorandum, file the lien. If you're going to do this, you can do it, but file a lien because now we essentially have to fight to get our proceed or our money we have tied up into it to a secured status, and so we actually get paid out. We have to kind of
So we're learning a lot about bankruptcies.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Not a bad thing.
we're technically creditors in this.
So what chapter did she file for?
13.
13. That
Yeah.
includes assets.
I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know that much about bankruptcies, but I know as far as like secured, unsecured, creditor.
There's a lot to it, but yeah, her plan is.
Our plan wasn't really a plan.
It doesn't make sense, and that's sort of what we're going back and forth on. It takes a while.
Wait.
It's bankruptcy.
So,
You want to know the best thing on her plan?
huh?
The line where it said that Innovative Home Solutions defrauded her.
She left a review.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, pretty crazy deal.
So
Oh,
it's like the biggest risk with novations is like doing the renovations.
I say you got it.
Yeah.
Biggest risk I ever.
Oh,
Because
I've
we
never
had
heard
a-
of this happening.
We
Not
had something
neither have I.
like that where like we did a renovation where it was a Pacemore renovation. We did the renovations. We did like flooring.
Value.
Yeah, like we did all that, and she actually put in a new shed.
She did. She
Like-
like $6K.
She's like, let me put this new shed in for you. We're like, all right,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, but
That one turned out well.
yeah, so there's pros and cons with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's if you're doing those the correct way, you should definitely have it in writing and be able to file a lien if something does happen.
File
Just
lien,
file it right up
a
front.
memorandum.
Yeah.
So what's the next step in your process?
Basically, just the court stuff
Yeah.
with this deal. Yeah, I mean, less.
You guys have like
We went to court twice already.
yeah.
how did that go?
Yeah, how was
It's
that?
still like we don't really have an answer on anything yet.
Yeah.
We both testified last week in Philadelphia. Was that last week?
Oh, you got to go all the way to Philly.
Yeah, we took the train there. We took the train there twice. So
After this, it should be.
we should have
We should have an
more-
answer in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
basically.
Keep us updated. You got me intrigued with
Absolutely.
the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a.
I want to know if you end up walking away with any money.
Yeah, we'll see. And you'll end up seeing
Tax write-off.
Yeah, that's pretty good on
Look at
that.
this loss. Don't believe what I suffered for this one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Well, with that novation kind of being on the bad side, you guys do have a great novation.
Yeah.
That was your first
Yeah,
deal.
we do some good deals too.
Yeah.
Is that the only deal you ever lost money on? Well,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. So I guess you got to take the loss once in a while.
It's a lesson.
No, we
Technically in real estate investing, you're gonna lose some, you're gonna make some. But.
And you just learn.
But I was gonna say that's the thing. We're learning a lot from that deal, and we have already taken some things away
nice.
from it. So
Any mentorship, like going through this process by anyone, who's done substantially more deals,
Mhm.
or you kind of just figuring out
for this home for
for the current situation that you're going through.
We talked to a couple friends and stuff, attorney friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
our friend Dave, things like that. But
Gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, at this point, it's more just the law side of things.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus, like you can't. It's not. Yeah, it's not really.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So as Steph was saying, you guys have had a couple big wins. One massive that is front of MNB we go to.
So I want to dive into that from the beginning because that was an exciting deal.
Yeah,
that
Was
a-
exciting.
Yeah, that was actually still to this day because I listed that one,
Yeah.
the highest listing I ever had.
Nice.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a similar area. That was not super far from where that bad deal
It's a good area.
Yeah.
For
where
sure.
that bad deal is. We also had a really good deal. So I guess we got a
Similar situation. Too.
yeah, actually, yeah.
I mean, technically, that is an innovation we did some work to. Not as much.
Yeah. Trim some trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Power wash.
the clean out alone was 10 grand on that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It was very
Huge house.
big. It was like, what was it, like 5 bedroom, 3 bath or something? Like,
It was huge.
Yeah.
Cool. Huge basement. That was unfinished, but it was
it was
filled
massive.
with stuff.
And so with you having your license, what made you decide to go with Stephanie for the listing? Just conflict of interest or?
So at that point in time, the previous company I was with, since I was like new and didn't have a whole lot of experience under my belt as an agent, they weren't allowing newer agents to list properties. So that was one. And two, they're very traditional in the real estate that they practice. If it's not a straight up like regular listing with a regular seller to a regular buyer, they don't really want anything to do with it. So
Switched brokerages since then?
I have recently. Yep.
Nice. I'm not going to
So, so that was one reason, and also just because like I knew nothing about listing a home at that point because again I had never done it. So, and yeah, I mean also conflict of interest as well because the company that we did it under I was 100% ownership of that company, and because that was again
Before we started.
yeah.
And that's before, like, I feel like we knew much about novations because now you can, like, I've been told that, like, if we novate a property, that, like, I could list it or, like,
Yeah.
you can list your own novations as well. Just have to make sure you disclose everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have the right forms. All
Yeah.
make it very obvious what you're doing. Things like that.
Right.
It's all about transparency, but
But,
So, oh, go ahead.
Jinx.
I was going to say, so, like, how did this come about? Like, was this a cold call? Was this a text message?
yeah, this was a lead that David already had
Yeah.
from cold calling.
No, from my marketing that I was
Yeah.
doing.
And then ended up connecting with him. Did we both go out there the first
Yep.
time?
We both.
Yeah, we both went out there.
I think we locked it up that day.
Yeah, we got it locked up that day. That's why I couldn't remember if we were both there. I don't even remember what we bought it for. $470.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I think." He was like, "I think my payoff's like $460 or something like that."
Yeah.
He's like, "But maybe it's more." So we're like, "Well, we can go up to $475."
So you got locked up at $475, and at the time, what did you estimate that the sales price or market value would be?
I was thinking like, so Isaiah and I were texting on the way home. He's like, "Dude, I think we make like 50 grand off this thing."
Yeah.
He's like, or maybe like 75, and I was like, I don't know. I just had in my mind, I was like, I think we can get more, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what it
Conflict's
actually.
weird in that area because they were so expensive homes. Like some were selling for $700-800, and then some were selling a little bit less.
Yeah,
So it
but
was-
I think something that was working in our favor. There was a home right next door, very similar home. It was a pretty good comp, except I think basement might have been finished.
yeah,
It sold for like I think mid 700s,
yeah.
and there was only like one other home in that community or that neighborhood that had sold in the last like 3 years. And this one was like right on top of the hill, like overlooking everything. So,
nice. A good location.
oh yeah,
So-
absolutely.
What made the seller want to just sell it for that 475 number?
Foreclosure. He was
Yeah.
going to foreclosure in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, like we showed up. There was a sign on his garage.
And he didn't even. Isaiah's like, hey, so that sign. He said something about the sign out there, and he didn't even know it was out there.
Like pushing motivation, obviously. Like
Right.
there's a sign out on your garage.
Yeah.
Sheriff's sale a couple weeks. And he's like, I had no idea.
What kind of property was this? Detached, single family?
Yeah.
Detached. Detached.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
2-story. It's a decent condition. Like,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Like you guys didn't do like any renovations really in the inside, just the clean out, power wash, trim the trees.
Yeah, it was like builder grade, like beige carpets, oak cabinets.
Yeah.
Okay.
It did have decent hardwood floors in it though, like in the kitchen and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what did you guys end up listing it for?
I think it was 615.
Yeah, we did 615.
And Steph got it up to 635. Yeah, because there's a couple in the first like day or two. It was listed,
Yeah.
and
I think we might have even done less. I think it might have been 605. I think we might have gotten
Maybe.
another offer for 615.
And
we got
then
an offer
they
for
were like
635.
bidding against each other or something.
yeah,
Like
I remember you calling or texting us, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna push them up.
And the crazy thing too is I used my iPhone for the
Yeah.
photos.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't do that anymore. but-
Hey, we're
Now we got
yeah.
who's that guy?
But yeah, it was a really good deal. So got it under contract, and
Yeah.
then
So what was the take home pay? Dun dun dun.
Take home.
Do you remember your gross profit? I think I
It was like right over 120,
yeah,
and then
23.
10K for the clean out. So we'll just say, just to make the numbers easy, 110.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did.
That's amazing.
now this
Just one novation.
yeah it blows my mind from one deal.
Yeah,
And how long was the process from start to finish? From the day that you
month and a half.
Yeah, 60 days.
Yeah, December, January, February. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
Clean the
closed.
bushes up.
Yeah, yeah.
David did it ourselves.
Did some
on the
landscaping.
weekend.
Yeah.
It was freezing cold.
It was horrible. And then fixed the garage. Power washed it.
In the freezing cold.
Yeah.
Steph was there. You were there that day. That fresh wash.
Me and Steph were like, thank God that ain't us. Hell no.
So if you guys want to make 6 figures in 60 days, hop into real estate.
But the story ends so sad because it was like a couple days later, I got a call from the seller's sister
Yeah.
just out of nowhere, like asking like, did you guys sell the property? Did this happen? Did that happen? And we're like, yeah, everything's smooth. Everything's all good.
Oh, and he also, so again, just to show that we do help our sellers out.
Yeah.
We're genuinely there for them. We had helped them find a rental to go to.
Right.
And again, we paid like for the clean out, did all that, had all that lined up.
He had
and
storage. He had an apartment.
he had everything
all lined
lined up.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we didn't even negotiate the price. He gave us that price that he sold it to us at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, she gave me the call and we were talking. She was like, well, he actually just passed away. I was like, no way. Like, that's
A
crazy.
couple days later.
Yeah. And during this time, I do remember he was going back and forth to the hospital just for like
He had
checkups
had
or something.
previous heart attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he passed from, wasn't it?
It was a heart attack,
Yeah.
I believe.
And he would go for his like recurring checkups or whatever.
Yeah.
What do they call? Will they call those things like stents or something? That like I don't know. Is that what I don't know. I have
It's like
no idea.
they put
I
Yeah.
think so.
Like a pacemaker or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But
But it literally happened like
yeah.
3 to 5 days after closing.
How old was he?
Oh,
I think
probably
it
like
might have been
60.
I was gonna say I think it might have been 60s, but he was
Funniest guy ever.
he was awesome. He was although like he had that humor where like you couldn't tell if he was joking or if he was being serious.
Like
Yeah.
face to
yeah. Oh,
We
absolutely.
signed
Like
the contract and he had like a literal M16 next to him, like just chilling against the couch, like from like not like a new AR, like just an old.
and he was like showing us his guns and like I think did he have swords too? I know somebody else had.
Yeah, like World War II stuff.
Oh yeah, and he had like an army chest down in the basement with like a bunch of old army stuff.
Yeah, safe too. Remember in the basement.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
how are we gonna get that thing? It's
That-
We're
yeah.
not. We're not.
1,000 pounds. What?
You sold it with the safe in there?
No,
the safe
the-
was out.
I was gonna say I think the moving crew got it.
The funny thing though, at closing, because we
So
closed
sick.
at the property, Isaiah wasn't there, but me and David, we were, and the buyers were complaining about. They were complaining about the
Yo.
toilet. What is that thing called?
Oh, for like a chair, like and a
Like you get on and off the
Oh.
toilet if you
Yeah,
want
it was like most nastiest thing.
Yeah.
David's like, all right, I'll take it.
David took
We're 120,000.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
It's worth it.
yeah.
At that point. Oh,
So-
nice. We actually had an incident, not to stay on a sad topic, but
Mhm.
a novation that we did. And
Where the seller was like, "That's my son." Like she
Yeah.
literally took him as like a son.
it was so bad. I mean,
Well, you were her son.
No, like her. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
theoretical son.
Exactly. There was like every time we had to meet up to like do some paperwork, we were sitting there for 2+ hours every single time.
It would be like a 5-minute task.
Because I'm like,
I'm like,
you're
you're still there?
It's those blue eyes. He's succulent.
No, and then yeah, so it was just like went through this whole process and like got the house sold and everything. Everything was great. Like a month later, not even.
Yeah.
I get a call from her husband. It's just like, she passed away.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
She was only
Crazy.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a funny story to go along with it.
Yeah.
We went to Texas Roadhouse with her husband,
That's
I
something.
feel like I know what he's gonna say.
and yeah, I mean, you could say that.
You can say it.
That was funny. Her son actually had a crush on Steph. So.
Oh, no. So you got adopted and Steph had a potential boyfriend.
You got it.
But no, it's super sweet family. Yeah. But really sad that she passed away.
It was her father's house, and I was gonna say that was innovation, but that was just a wholesale.
Yeah.
It was like a Facebook marketplace wholesale.
Yeah, we put a for sale
Yo.
by owner.
Like, she
sign
knew
out
what we
front.
were doing.
Yeah.
She was.
Yo,
Why
don't
does that
doubt,
make you
don't
more
doubt the
money?
marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh, not
Real sales on Facebook Marketplace.
Are you ever worried about your buyer seeing
Shout out Zuck.
sellers?
Our buyer, I talked with a seller of ours today that saw his house on Zillow.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it is what it is. If you do it right up front, and you tell them like we're gonna handle repairs, all the closing costs, things like that. They're not as surprised when they see a higher price.
Okay.
We had that issue.
They know we got to make money.
I was going to say, a lot of them are like, yeah, we know you guys need to make some money.
I've had more problems with cash buyer, like investors, seeing on assignment fees and getting upset about it than I do with our sellers. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. I'm more than capable of talking a seller down, like explaining why it's at that price or why we're making that amount of money.
There's just put logic into it.
Yeah. And I built the trust with them. It's so much harder with the
buyer.
investors. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've had
You had
problems with that.
you had quite the incident. I wasn't there for it. But
I was just thinking about
you
that.
had quite the incident with
deal we did together.
Yeah.
the one deal we did.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah,
That
that was the craziest closing I ever been to. Well, we
It wasn't
didn't
even-
close. We didn't
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
But
We ended up eventually closing.
right.
What did we make on that? $2,000 or something.
Like 2,500 each or something like that.
Like all that for that, but
Yeah.
Was that the place, like, there was no water meter and they kept asking us about the water meter?
yeah, I think somebody literally cut the water meter off the house.
Because I remember, like, I think you went to go look at it,
Like twice.
and then I went.
I was like, guys, there's no water.
Yeah.
I was
like, no, it
it
has
was
to be.
it was like it was in the hood, and I took a like a big flashlight, and I was carrying my piece on me.
Well, y'all were
Eh.
asking, like, who can go? Well, through the
Yeah.
text message, and I was like, I'm not going.
Yeah, I was like, I was gonna say other than Steph, but I didn't want to be like rude.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
she can handle herself.
It's
like,
It's 2023.
yeah. I was like, I don't strong.
He's my boss.
Independent woman.
Yeah,
So
Skylar told me, I was like, bring your gun. Like, that house is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy was crazy.
Doors are wide open. Like you can tell
Window was
people have been.
busted,
You can tell
yeah.
people have been in and out of there.
Squatters.
Yeah. I think there was like the bottom like 3 or 4 steps was missing down into the
I'm
basement.
surprised we even had a buyer for that. I can't.
Good on you guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to our buyer.
Yeah, I don't love you, dude. That place was bad.
Yeah,
That guy was crazy.
that was a rough one. So what happened at closing? Like, why did he throw us into such a temper tantrum?
It was just the amount. It was like
There was like another expense. I
it
think
was like the water. It was like the water bill.
He's like, why am I getting charged for this?
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
was
should
water.
be getting it.
And they did
Well, the
like
water's been off for 10 years. Why am I being charged for it? I'm like, they still charge you
And then
monthly.
he pointed at it like,
something,
you
yeah.
lied to me, so on and so forth. And then
Yeah.
he said something about like, I don't know, like woman and what did he say? It was
It was gibberish.
yeah.
That guy was on
He
drugs.
started mumbling.
To just put
There was
it
like-
bluntly, he was
there was like an incident
on
where like
hard drugs.
his son was stuck in North Carolina and like not stuck, but like he was living in North Carolina and then ended up like messing around with his teacher at the age of like 13.
And didn't he also have like something about
It
like
was-
he had illegally had a gun? Well, yeah, he's 13, but then he had like a gun. He was like,
He was like, man, I just gotta get down to North Carolina to see what this dude's doing.
Yeah, he was quite the character. But we got into like a 30-minute
Debate. Just all going back and forth. I'm over here just sitting, just watching.
He's like standing up like over the top of me, yelling in my face, basically.
Yeah.
Where
Like,
is
Brian had to shut the door.
Yeah, at Capstan. Yeah, they shut the door because they had other closings going on. Steph's just sitting there like terrified, and I'm like talking back and forth with this dude.
Did they ever like step in?
No.
They said a little bit, but then
Yeah,
they kind of let you have it.
Yeah, they just knew. I don't know. I think Brian just knew it was not going to go well. They were like scared for this to get physical.
Oh yeah, we were scared because like I thought he was gonna get followed home or something.
Yeah, that's what Brian and them thought.
Like, you just wait.
It's like I already walked the house with this guy. Like I was already in his vacant property where he's telling me all, like I won't go into all that, but like all his stories. It was like I wasn't afraid of the guy. I knew why he was upset.
Yeah.
He wasn't walking away with a lot of money, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like he didn't have a choice. He had to sell it.
Right.
He's gonna go to tax sale and
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny how that deal actually came about, because I visited that house about a week prior to me seeing you post it on Snapchat. I was like, no way, it was down on 504 Emerald Street or whatever it was.
yeah.
Right? And you're like, yeah, it is. I was like, I was just there.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I was like, I have a guy who's like willing to buy it for this price, but he won't go below this price. And you're like, I think I can get him down to this price. And I was like, if you can do it, like we can partner on it.
Yeah.
And that was before.
I was gonna just drop it.
Yeah.
I was just ready to drop. That guy was just so wishy-washy, like just crazy. And I was like, I don't even think we're gonna.
Yeah, didn't he send you like some weird pictures or something of like, I don't know, was it like, wasn't he texting you some weird shit?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only like a 2-week deal, but
Didn't he want his money like in a paper bag?
yeah, he
Oh, that's the he wanted the he wanted the brand.
yeah.
This guy said
That's all. Like that's why Skylar couldn't lock it up. That's why I couldn't lock it up for the longest.
It's like, no, we have to go to closing. We gotta go through the process.
I need it off the books, Isaiah. I need it off the books. I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't give it to you in a brown paper bag.
Yeah.
Like, you can take
Like,
it
or
through your
shoebox.
LLC. You
Give me
can
a
take it
shoebox.
through your name, however you want to do it. I don't care.
That's so funny because he kept saying shoebox, because the very first time I went to go check it out, I was with my girlfriend at the time, and she had on some like brand new Air Forces, and he was like, you know what? He's like, I'll give it to you for that price if you buy me a pair of those. I was like, I mean, I could throw in a pair of shoes, like, but you gotta get a little bit lower. And he's like, I needed a brown paper bag too. Dude, all right, dude, you're asking the most.
Gotta love those sellers.
Yeah, there's a lot of ups and downs in real estate. I mean, all kinds of crazy deals and situations, scenarios you get yourself into.
It's fun. It keeps, you know,
gotta have
it breaks the monotony. Yeah.
It does. It's not a typical warehouse job where it's the same damn thing every single day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I look forward to it. I think that we both have a lot of big things coming. We're all still pretty young, which in our market, there's not a lot of young people. I mean, it's kind of like
It's literally just us.
A lot of younger agents.
we got
A couple other.
Not very many investors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's cool to connect with you guys and kind of see like where your guys' path has led you to so far versus where we are.
Yeah.
And have some comparisons there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's we definitely got to do some more deals in the future to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the buyers. We can.
Yeah, if you get anything outside of, you guys are the kings of Harrisburg, king and queen, I guess. Anything outside of that, we are.
Yeah,
We do some deals in Harrisburg. Not as many as you guys. Not near as many.
we do get those random deals, you know, on outskirts of bump.
Yeah, we make good money up in coal country.
Yeah, it's crazy how you do that.
We have probably, I don't know, if you count the one I just locked up, we probably have 40 grand in deals supposed to close.
Really?
And
That's awesome.
and the scoop.
We just closed. That was in Perry County.
Yeah.
That was a
But still, that was like out in the
still
middle of
Out in the middle
nowhere.
of nowhere, yeah.
Perry County's not much better.
Yeah.
Halifax area.
We have a couple deals in our area too, Mechanicsburg and
Yeah.
Lancaster, well, Landisville.
Hanover, stuff like that. But
So what would I?
We did a couple in Lebanon this year too. They were good ones. Except the tree clean. Remember that one? That was
It's like
when they
posted
dropped it
on
on
it.
your house.
no. This
No,
no. That's a flip in Landisville.
Oh, okay.
that one should be done soon. But
Yeah.
Nice.
No, there's just the buyers are just such. They were
what
they were
what they needed cleaned out, like logs in the backyard. Like there was a fire pit. And there was logs.
and they
They made us come back.
You can't just
2 or
burn 'em?
3 times. Exactly.
like I filled my truck up a couple times with like logs and branches and these big
scrap
stumps
wood
that
in
are
the
like this
basement.
big,
Yeah.
like scrap wood in the basement. Like
man,
you guys did not mention that. Like
Yeah.
when we were discussing the items that were to be cleaned up and gotten rid of, that was not discussed. It was only discussed after the fact.
Yeah.
I got you. So what would you say is like your guys' like main territory? Like if you guys got to choose one market in Central PA,
Probably Lancaster County.
Lancaster.
If I could choose, we don't get as many leads and deals in Lancaster County,
But they're juicy.
It's
yeah,
it's heavily targeted.
yeah.
Definitely.
I'm biased towards Lancaster. I grew up in Lancaster County, so we like Lancaster. We really don't do anything in York.
I'm surprised you didn't say Westchester area.
If it was a little bit closer to us,
Yeah, it's just it's kind of.
we
far.
still do target it
Yeah.
from time to time, but it's not as much.
So you're in Hershey, aren't you?
correct. I can like see Hershey Park in the Giant Center from my house, basically.
Yeah. So do you guys do a lot of deals over there or not?
None. It'd be nice.
We had one in Hershey. I think we told you guys about it. We wanted to like wholesale it to you.
Oh yeah, you guys were gonna buy it.
The ranch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We
Yeah.
thought that was about to be a home run.
Oh yeah, that surprised the heck out of us.
Yeah.
It was a good house.
It was
Solid,
a
yeah.
brick, like a
excited to
nice, good sized brick rancher. Had like attached 2-car garage. It had like new HVAC and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Really beautiful backyard. I remember it now.
Yeah, it's crazy how we did not get more than what we were thinking for.
And it's like
Yeah.
almost like right behind the hospital and like right across the street from like the
Perfect
like there was a
perfect
comp right
location.
down like 3 or 4 doors down that sold for 400 or 420 or something.
Yeah, I looked at comps and like the numbers you guys gave it for an ARV and like the numbers that you were trying to sell it
made
for, it
sense.
made sense.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, what kind of hurt us on that house is the floor plan of it.
Yeah.
I think because you weren't able to knock out that middle wall between the kitchen and living room because that's where the stairs to the basement were.
Right.
It was like not having that open concept, which people are looking for that modern look.
Yeah, and then that made that kitchen pretty tight.
Kitchen it's
Yeah.
And we didn't do like a remodel really at all. All we did was rip up the old carpet, get it cleaned out.
painted.
I was gonna say I thought you guys got it painted because when I seen the pictures of it, I was like, oh, there's a lot. Like there used to be wallpaper here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a disaster. I had like my girlfriend and like 3 of her friends in there every single day for like 10 hours straight, just like scraping it all.
Y'all remember
Did you were you using were you using the like the little steamers?
Wait, no, I think we did slave labor.
I ended up paying them.
Yeah.
I think it was like $2,000 in total between like 3 or 4 of them.
Hey, that's decent.
Yeah, she was.
Did they use like that spray stuff they put on or
Did
did
they use like the roller with the spray
okay? I think there's also
and the scraper?
a steamer thing like it
quite a bit of
steams it to like get the adhesive to like release. I
I've
don't
seen
know.
that, but
No.
we didn't have.
You didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, you were on vacation
Yeah, I was,
during
I
that
was
entire
chilling.
thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would go to work every day from 6 to 2:30. And as soon as I got off work, I'm heading over there. Dude, we were there till like.
Oh, you should came over and drank some beer.
Wish. It would be a lot better. Well, I drank beer at the house. You should have came over and helped scrape some of that wallpaper off.
Well, you didn't tell me you needed help.
Yeah, that's right. The girls handled it.
We could have drank beer and watched them.
Supervised. Honestly. Yeah. That's kind of what I
And
did.
the Giant that's like right across the street from there. I don't know if you ever got Chinese from there, but oh man, Hong Kong chef.
Oh yeah.
Pretty solid.
Slamming.
I like the Chinese in our Giant in Lingelstown as well. They got some good Chinese.
Oh, that's probably because I think there's a couple Giants in like Central PA that have that Hong Kong
Is it the
chef
same?
in. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Because like down in York has one or Dallastown. I
Maybe.
don't know, something like that.
I've never even
But
Dallas Town. Where's that?
it's right below York. Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
That's a good neighborhood.
That's where my listing's at.
Okay.
That school district area. Yeah.
Man, that's surprising that hasn't sold. That's in Dallastown
So
too.
we're in negotiations.
Okay.
Yeah, you told me you might have some good news on that.
Yeah. I mean, we're
now is
still
that a
going back and
motivation for you guys, or is that just a regular listing, or
Yeah, just a regular. listing.
okay?
Yeah.
That's a big one. And that'll be your second biggest next to theirs, right?
Yeah.
Exciting.
I don't typically do listings, but that seller came across. I actually talked to him. I cold called him the second day I became licensed.
Oh no
He had
way.
my number ever since and would watch my YouTube videos. And it's like, I want you to list this. I was like,
That's awesome.
yeah,
So what you're saying is social media works.
for sure. For sure.
So
You guys
I should
gotta-
post.
You got to You're
I'm getting
posting.
there. I'm
Isaiah's
Yeah,
been
I'm
posting
Yeah. I see your TikTok all the time.
trying, man.
It'll pop it up.
Mhm.
TikTok. What's that?
I don't know what it is.
Well,
I didn't actually even ask you guys, but how old are you? I know we're all around the same age.
24.
I'm like the grandpa here.
28.
28. Just turned 28.
Just turned 28.
Yeah.
28, 24.
Yep.
23, 23.
23.
Hey. Wow. That's crazy. So who's going to hit $1 million first?
All of us.
Yeah, simultaneously.
We had a goal. We had like a competition, like who's gonna hit 25 minutes first.
But yeah, I know that you guys are kind of veering off in a different direction.
A little bit.
I mean, we definitely like the idea of, sorry, maybe I need to get closer. We like the idea and do want to acquire more units,
Yeah.
especially multifamilies, just because obviously, as you guys know, since you're doing it already, like everything's consolidated in one area. It's one property. Right. So we do definitely want to do that. We do have technically two semis, but it's one building. It's all one.
Okay.
One location, two different addresses. They're just two semis that we own.
Right. Are they connected to each other?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Nice.
It's basically just a duplex.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bought one side, and then seller came to us and he wanted to sell the other side.
Well, he did not actually come to us.
Actually, we came to him.
Yeah.
After
His water's freaking leaking into our property after it was renovated.
y'all been.
Isaiah called me. He's like, "You didn't turn the water off. There's water coming through the outlet. There's water's coming through the wall." I was like, "I definitely turned the water off." He's like, "I don't know. I hear something." I was like, "I bet you it's next door."
There is like 8 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm like still tired. Or might not have been 8, but it was early in the morning. And like, yeah, I came into the kitchen. There's water just coming through the wall. I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, what is going on? So then we found out it was his. We called the water company. They turned off the water. And all
Actually, they tried to turn the water off.
Yeah, then we had to break into his house. Well, they did, not us.
Yeah.
They broke into his house, turned the water off. Yeah.
Because the shut off at the street did not function.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. It's like a code violation.
So like,
They fixed it.
if say he didn't pay his water bill or like his utilities and they went to shut the water off, they never actually would have shut it off because that was broken.
Well, interesting.
Well, it's a good thing that happened though. Or
Yeah, it wasn't yes, guys. Then we ended up buying it
Yeah.
pretty cheaply. So it is what it is. But
Nice. I feel like you guys have been through like a lot more kind of crazy scenarios than we have.
I mean, that's probably like the second.
Knock
crazy-
on some.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to get.
yeah. It's gonna happen if you're investing in
Right,
real estate. Like
yeah.
you're gonna have those times where you think you're gonna make all this money and it doesn't end up working out.
Yeah.
But you take those, you learn, and you go on to the next one. There's always another deal. Yeah, exactly.
So as we have this like towards a close, what are you guys' goals for like 2024, so on and so forth? Like, have you guys already talked about like company goals, individual goals?
Not really yet.
No, not really. We do need to sit down and talk about that. And I guess we need to plan a little bit more for, in advance. So I do think that we do need to get together, sit down, and have a planning session for 2024, a goal setting session.
I think that's one of our, not our failures, but like we plan and then we just go for it. And we're doing deals and we're obviously we're
busy. We're doing
successful at it. But it's not like super planned out. Like, hey, we want to buy a 2-unit.
Not everything you're doing is just
for the first half of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still win.
If we were
So it's
aiming at something, like we're just taking action, but I don't think we're always aiming at something in particular.
Not as organized as it could be.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a bad thing, honestly.
As long as you're taking action.
Yeah, but I feel like you can definitely like shorten the curve if you are more
Focused on
goal-oriented.
yeah. Whatever you focus on expands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. Have you guys set any like personal goals for yourselves?
I have some goals.
I saw that your sister had you bought the office space for her.
And that business that you just bought.
Yeah, I bought the business. I didn't buy the.
Oh, okay.
I didn't buy the real estate. I wish I would have. That'd be awesome in E-Town. But
So you're leasing that.
yeah. So I mean, that's a goal of mine this year is to grow that.
That's awesome. I saw it's doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's doing okay. I more so bought it for her.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not going to make me $1 million, but I don't know. We'll see. We have a friend that's pretty successful, and Dave, I mentioned earlier, he's got a dog grooming business or kennel business.
Yeah.
And he's pretty successful in it. So
He's got a little bit of everything.
yeah, he's got a little bit of everything, and he's kind of one that like
Helps you out.
sort of talked me into that. Yeah, I came to him with that one, and
Yeah. You want to shout it out for the viewers?
Yeah, Randler's Dog Grooming in Elizabethtown.
Yeah,
If anybody
check 'em out.
was watching, go ahead.
Yeah.
Check us out online.
very cool.
Just opened up a couple weeks ago, but
Nice. So, what other personal goals have you?
I'd like to get more rentals. I mean, just between us, like we've been talking about that for half an hour now, but more rentals, more passive income, whether it is
absolutely.
in our business or maybe I do buy another business this year that's a little bit more passive for me. I don't know. We'll see. But more passive income would be my biggest goal. Because we're very good at making that active income. We're very good at doing the whole
But
sales.
there's no end to that. Like,
Yeah, it's a job.
Yeah.
Do a couple deals a month and we're making good money on that. But yeah, it's not as passive. So we need to be taking that and putting that into rentals or buying businesses or whatever it may be.
I would say like one of my goals for next year is definitely to buy a business, because that's something I had been thinking about. I just haven't.
Do you know what kind of business?
I don't know. I do actually. So
Do you watch Cody Sanchez?
no, I don't even. That's a girl, right?
Yeah.
I've heard the name. I don't really know.
That's like her expertise is just buying
But-
these small businesses.
I think that's I think that would be really cool. It's something I do want to do.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever some car YouTubers, influencer people. I don't know what you want to call them. Anyway, they have this hot chicken chain that Isaiah and I went to when we went out to Clever Summit. And I really I would love to open one of those locations in Hershey, like right near Permanis, because that's like that area on the weekend is like insane. Like no parking, like everyone goes there. Like there's not a whole lot to do in our area, so everyone just goes like Permanis and Iron Hill and stuff at Hershey on the weekends. So Hula Hands. So I would, and plus like Giant Center's right there, so all the concerts and games and everything, and then also Hershey Stadium. Yeah. So like I want to open a Houston's Hot Chicken right there. So
Houston's Hot.
Well,
Edmond or Houston, if you guys see this, help me out.
help him out, and he's gonna give us free entrees for life.
Yeah. Hot chicken.
Dude, I can actually like bulk up for once.
Like prime location, no competition.
Yeah.
The first, actually, I think it's one of the first hot chickens that opened up like on the East Coast. Just opened up down in York earlier this year. Dave's Hot Chicken. It's honestly, it's not that good.
Really, I haven't been there yet.
And maybe I went on the second. I went the second night they were open. Maybe that's why I'm giving them benefit of the doubt. Okay, well then you heard it here.
Yeah. Well, you gotta blow them out the water then.
So that's the plan. Got to bring it to fruition.
For sure. So I think that about concludes everything. I mean, I feel like we went over a pretty substantial amount.
I feel like we could keep talking. Like I feel like we have like such a good chemistry between you guys and us. Like
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
yeah.
But we still didn't we only talked about very little
We
on,
barely scratched the surface.
and it's already been over an hour.
Real estate.
Oh, has it?
Real estate wise, we didn't talk about that much. We went
No.
on a little bit of a tangent on
Drugs.
our
I think that took
our
most of the time.
shortcomings.
Dewey's.
20 minutes.
But I mean, we could do a part 2 too.
Yeah, definitely. Let's
Yeah.
let's set it up sometime.
Yeah,
We'll have to.
Run it back.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, we
It's
hope
been a
you
pleasure.
guys.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's been a pleasure having you guys in here with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Once again, our
appreciate it.
first guest, and it's been phenomenal. I was like, we can find anyone to quite top these people, so you might have to come back again.
I'm sure you can. There's plenty of people out there that are doing much more than we are.
But chemistry-wise,
Chemistry-wise, okay.
I feel like we're up there.
And if you guys want to check them out on social media, we'll make sure to have their links down in the description. But you can also, say your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
I don't know.
Facebook.
Isaiah Shickley, if you want to look that up, TikTok,
Yeah, I don't even.
YouTube, Instagram.
I'm in the same boat as you guys.
Just send me the ones you want. Yeah,
That's
and I'll put it in.
That's fine.
I don't even know my Instagram handle. I think it's like
D Winter.
DWinner19 maybe, or underscore 19, or I don't know if there's a something like that. Shows how active I am on it.
It's all right.
And if you
Yeah,
guys
look up Innovative Home Solutions though.
innovated,
There you go. That's what you need to look up. But make sure you go to Stephanie Butts' first.
But that is going to be it for today's episode. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. if you're watching it on YouTube, and subscribe if you're watching it on Spotify or listening to it.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yep.
What else? Podcast, wherever we put it on. I don't know. All right.
To it everywhere.
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 Every day, you'll learn so much.
There you go.
You'll learn what not to do,
True.
especially when it comes to flip
This
novations
is a good episode.
or college.
Awesome. Well, good luck on your endeavors, guys.
Hey, likewise.
Yep.
We will have to revisit this soon.